Yeah. Oh, man. Whoop, whoop. Welcome to Bar Game 2.
Sing to him.
Yeah. Check. Real and raw, we show that here. Put a stop to your drive like a low jack gear. If it ain't about the truth, we weave and dread fake. Like you ain't take the time to grow that here. Waters.
Life can be a ghetto chick, you know. Some you don't wanna settle with. Your man's out the hood, but I'm still round bricks. Came back to share a way we can heal all this. YJ.
Flow is crucial, none about the M's, but we keep it 1,000.
Yo, 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 it's the Wave Report. We back for another episode, baby. What's happening, fellas?
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Joe Waters, a.k.a.
Oh, he's starting this again. That's crazy. We got YJ in the building. This nigga's always gone, but he here for the time being.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? How y'all week been?
Man, just putting in work. I'm ignoring the fuck out of this nigga right here. I'm ignoring.
Where he be on, man? That's your boy. Real and raw.
Acid.
Yo, it look like it. You gotta pop the perk, man.
He tripping right now. What you witnessed?
Joe Waters, a.k.a. You know what I mean? What's good? What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing today, man?
Yeah, man, we doing very well, Joseph.
Yeah, we are. You
I don't know who that is.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Good?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you want a trip, Joe?
On a trip? Yeah, I went to Miami, and the day before that,
Oh, look at that.
the day before that, I went to go see the new Avengers movie. It's fire. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
How did
crazy.
the battle
Avengers
go?
was good. Yeah.
There was a battle event called URL Resolution. Cassidy is trash.
Dang.
I said it.
Disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful. He disrespected himself.
Dang.
Trash. Bars is not back. Trash.
Joe
Trash.
pretty harsh, man.
I'm not pretty harsh. I'm ugly harsh. Trash. He shouldn't have even stepped in the arena. Don't look. I don't like people that promote,
Bro.
everything and then they get into somewhere and they trash. Like you ever hear somebody that's like, yo, I could. You ever see a girl that's like, yo, I could do all of that, and then you do something with her and then she's trash.
I know all about it.
Cassidy is the equivalent of the person who says, babe, I can go 500 rounds and then gets in 7 seconds. Trash.
Stay away from that nigga, ladies.
Actions speak louder than words.
That's for sure.
Trash.
What's on the brighter side? What positive things have been going on in y'all lives, man?
That Cassidy is trash, and it makes me feel
Oh,
good
my
about
God,
battle
this
rap.
guy, man. I already see.
Makes me believe in battle rap. Because
Already
there's
see.
people out here that ain't trash, like Cassidy.
Kind of New York versus Philly.
It seemed like it, man.
I'm sorry.
It kind of
There's
feel that
no-
way.
I claim Bad News VA, and I claim Florida.
It's the vibes I'm
There's
getting,
no
man.
bias by me.
It's the vibes I'm getting.
I got love
Some
for people in
contention,
Philly.
man.
I
Dang.
still hate what the Eagles did to Terrell Owens. Trash.
Speaking of football, why did y'all draft that nigga, man?
Who? I don't have
The
it.
Giants. Nah, you're a Giants fan.
I am a.
You seen who they drafted?
No, I am a football fan.
Eli Jr.
I am a fan. I am a restricted fan free agent right now.
That's
I no
crazy,
longer
man.
have a team. I have disassociated myself with all things New York Giants. I refuse to be a part of anything related to the New York Giants. I don't know who they are. I will never speak that name ever again. The Giants, trash.
The Giants and the Knicks, man, like defunct organizations, man.
No, you said the Giants and Cassidy, trash.
I don't know, man. New York.
I'll tell you this though, you're not allowed to root for a Ram player, wear a
Oh,
jersey.
Hey, I signed a 1-year contract. I'm a free agent.
Look, man,
I'm a free agent. you don't really want
ain't
to
no
go down
loyalty.
there.
You ain't got no loyalty.
I ain't
whatsoever.
gonna- you right.
If y'all not aware,
whatsoever.
I left the Giants
brought
last
Joe,
year.
The Rams, we brought Joe on board.
Traded for me.
You know, early in the season last year.
Mm-hmm.
We allowed him to come through. We embraced him with open arms.
And what'd you do in the Super Bowl?
We went to the Super Bowl, nigga.
But what'd you do in it?
We went.
Y'all got in the Super Bowl and did a Cassidy.
Where did your team go?
Trash.
Where did your team draft? That high? How do you get that high?
I'm sorry, my team was in the Super Bowl
don't worry
last
about
year.
it. My team going to the Super. See, this is why we don't allow these fans anymore. The Rams, we close down. Don't jump on the
sorry.
bandwagon.
You from St. Louis?
Stay out of
Yeah,
here. It's
well,
all
yeah,
good.
You from St. Louis,
Ram
Joe?
fan since '98.
98?
Ram fan since '98.
Some longevity, man.
What year were you
Since
born?
Marshall Faulk came from the Colts. my
What year
nigga.
were you born?
You did.
Were you born in '98?
Nah, damn.
All right, so you can't knock me.
And the show was. Listen, man, we out here in these streets, bro.
Yeah.
The Rams going back to the Super Bowl again, and you can't
To score
root for
3
them.
points.
Yeah.
You cannot root for them.
To score
That
3
reminds
points.
me of RV, revolutionary, man. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. By the way, Nelly trash.
Man.
Well, nah, that's a
Basketball
topic for
team,
another
man.
day. We're gonna talk about.
Warrior fan,
No.
Celtic
He a Celtic fan.
Pacer fan.
Trash.
All right.
Now he's supposed to be a Seattle Seahawks
Don't
fan.
come to the Magic.
Really?
Ever.
He said he was gonna go wherever a certain wide receiver who's trash went to, and
Dang.
yeah, trash.
Dang.
This
Hey.
is a lot of trash.
Hey, what we working on project wise, fellas? What's
Therapy.
going on? Therapy.
Therapy's back.
Therapy's back.
The album
Please
going up
feel free
online.
to-
The album going up
Please,
online,
hey,
Joe?
every therapy will be available on all your streaming outlets the week it comes out. You can go to Therapy Shops. That's therapy. SHOPZ.com, and you can get all your latest therapy merch. Hoodies will be on there this week. We're gonna have cutoffs. We're gonna have a whole summer line for you. So yeah, therapyshops.com.
The project going online.
I'm talking to you.
Therapy, nigga. You.
I'm talking to you, Jonah.
No, he talking to you.
Oh, you talking about me?
Yeah, the
What
project going up. I just seen you make a post saying the project gonna be available
My
digitally.
Yeah, my album coming up. Yeah, Insecure, that's coming up.
Uh-huh.
Wave Report album coming up.
Facts.
Yeah.
Bar Game 2 coming up.
Facts.
Oh, yeah.
Let me keep this thing going. Living Loud album coming up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be
Y'all ain't smoking on there though. Doing the interludes and everything,
shit,
though.
nigga, why I'm wearing shade.
Because you ugly.
But you understand? Your daddy jack off in public.
Your daddy uncircumcised. Your daddy uncircumcised, so when he masturbates, it's a flapjack.
Now you know I'm fuck with
He
uncircumcised.
he
people.
flapjacking.
So if it's true, I can't fuck with you.
Dang.
But nah, man, yeah, we got all that coming. Obviously, continuing the merch line to grow.
Yeah.
That shit happen, and be back on that road in front of my peoples I love, and
Yeah, you're on the road a lot these days.
these days, yeah, man, grateful for that because it's helping me grow everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. So on today's episode, man, we're gonna talk about something that's near and dear to our hearts.
What's that?
Cutting people the hell off.
Okay.
That's what
Like
we
that.
doing. How do you know when it's time to cut somebody off?
When you
Family
say you
member,
gonna,
wife, whoever. Dang, I said wife. Yeah, I said it.
Facts.
I mean, Jonah, go ahead, man. My spirit says to sit back. Like,
How do you know
When to cut somebody off.
when to cut somebody off? Well, I mean, you know, well, if you're paying attention and you got some kind of intuition about you, you know from the jump when somebody shouldn't even be close to you. But a lot of times we human and we fuck up and we allow people to come into our space because we want to be considered nice people.
That's true. So we be in denial?
Yeah, man, we dodge red flags all the time. You know? We get niggas that get close to us become our brothers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Become our brothers.
I felt something.
Being around for years and whatnot, and you dodge all these red flags and shit. And then when something happens, you're shocked. Oh, I can't believe that nigga. No, man, he was like this the whole time. You refuse
Right.
to acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? So cutting people off, man. When you see that thing, when they cross the line, you know, whether it be something morally, you know what I'm saying, you feel like they lack integrity. You know what I'm saying, and this can probably be going down a, dark road. You see your man's, like really tripping, not doing bad.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, but tripping. You know what I'm saying. It's a difference. A lot of people cut you off when you're doing bad. They fuck niggas.
Yeah.
But when your man's is tripping, that's when it's something like it can be detrimental to your health, your family. Blowback can be on your business. Anything like that, when it's serious like that, it's time to let a nigga go.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? You should have been let him go, but that's pretty much as high as you can go. Because if you hold on to this nigga, you're gonna get fucked up in the end. You know what I mean? On that kind of level, you gotta cut people off when you see it.
Yeah. Joe?
For me, it's two different scenarios where I gotta cut somebody off. The first is when they say they're gonna 3-0 somebody in a battle and they just become trash,
Yeah, man.
or they hype something
We
and
got
they
this
say they're
whole
gonna be
episode.
great at something and they just trash. That's one. But the second,
Disrespect.
when they disrespect themselves, trash. The second is failed expectations for me. I don't say it. I'm really the king of not saying a word about certain things. If I ask for something, or if I request something, if I reach a hand out, and something, maybe even offer to do something, and it doesn't get done, I take inventory of it. And if it becomes something that's so consistent, if you're so consistently inconsistent, you gotta get that chop.
Do you think it's because at times that our expectations may be too high?
I hate the word expectations because expectations generally means you put trust in something.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not saying to disallow the word when I put expectation, that's trust. I'm putting trust.
Is expectation the equivalent to like blind faith?
That's a good question, man. You inquisitive
what?
today. I see what you.
I thought about that. I was like, damn, I wonder if y'all ever thought about that.
I mean, I would say yeah. Because, I mean, generally, so if I say, hey, I expect you, my mother used to expect me to get the dishes done. Didn't expect for me to see the car pull up and then try to do it at that present time, which I was very successful at. I was very successful at washing the dishes in 3 seconds when moms would pull up. You couldn't eat off them, but, I was very successful in making sure them joints was clean. To mom's eye, but yeah, I mean, there's always an expectation. Like people scramble when it's not important to them.
Right.
So me in that same instance, my mother asked me to wash the dishes, so we didn't have fruit flies and bugs in the house. And
right.
I mean, we lived in New York and we lived in VA. There's a certain type of bugs called a roach that lives wherever. Like my mom wanted to keep those away. And quite frankly, she put expectations that I would keep things clean, and I never did. So I didn't until I got older, but I understood the value of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to be consistently consistent, but the person that's consistently inconsistent is tough. It's tougher for them to have redemption without a change.
Yeah.
Without a change in becoming the consistent person, because if you're not that, quite frankly, you're trash. And I can't be associated with people who are trash. You know what I mean? Like Cassidy, who's trash. Like the New York, those people, trash.
Hey, Joe, you gotta let go, man.
That's what I did. I cut them off.
That's why the nigga need therapy.
Yeah, for real.
In fact, in this week's therapy, this
real,
record,
man.
Trash.
For real, man.
I'm just letting y'all know. I'm giving y'all a spoiler alert. This week is all it's gonna be about people who are trash.
So, was there a person that you cut off that you ended up regretting it?
I think that happened to me once.
Yeah.
I think that. Oh my God. I think that happened to me once. Yeah. When I was when I was in Texas.
Yeah, talk.
All right. I had this kid on the football team. He was the backup quarterback.
You live in Texas, nigga?
Yeah, I live in Texas.
I ain't know.
For a year. Came through, had the rec shot, showing how these Florida boys play running back. You know what I mean? Skirt.
Sounds like the plot line to any given Sunday.
You know what I mean? But it was a kid, man. He was the backup quarterback. And I used to be really hard on kids. I used to be, roasting them. If I felt like they wasn't working hard enough, or I felt like they wasn't, that good at what they do, I'll roast them. I used to roast the shit out of bro. And he used to still be cool with me. We'll show up to school. He'll, sit with your boy at the lunch table and whatnot, kick it with you, crack jokes. But we got on the football field, I was just horrible to him. So come to find out, he did something real, what's the word? Lame. I wanted to say something with a little more impact, but lame. Lame would do. He did some real lame with a female or whatever, and I cut that nigga off.
Sound about right.
Yeah. The next school year, I guess I don't know what happened to his parents. Not the next school year, the next summer it came up. I ran into him outside of school, and I found out that his peoples had like money. Like whatever you think I can get kind of money. And I could have been over there stealing shit. So I regretted cutting them off. You know, could have been doing sleepovers while I come.
My nigga. I'm up here thinking this gonna be like some profound story. Like it's gonna.
Yeah, no, man, I
I'm
could
up
have.
here thinking like, oh man, he finna say something kind-hearted, typical Jonah fashion. Yeah, I could have been over there stealing.
Could have been over there stealing, bro. I could have took his whole PlayStation.
It was a dude in my old
I was
neighborhood.
already taking his Pokemon cards and shit.
Y'all boys wild, man.
There was a dude in my old neighborhood, Newport Townhomes in VA, and we were involved in certain businesses to get money as a young.
Hey, hold on. Why you always be saying that, man? Why you always be saying that?
Saying
Y'all were selling drugs. Go ahead, Joe.
we were working a business to get money, and
Hustle.
he messed up. He messed up. We would do a inventory check of funds acquired in the day, and he messed up his count. He messed up the register, and we it was self accountability where I was from, and when the boss came around, and I didn't say nothing, I held it down for him. And he kind of made a suggestion like, yo, it's whatever, man. It happens. The police took it. And I knew the police, there was no, whatever. He lost some money. And he tried to blame it on a situation that didn't happen. And I didn't want to be associated with somebody like that, because if things hit the fan for him, I felt like it was going to hit the fan for me. So I stepped back. Knowing where I could have, right after the situation, I immediately, was like, nah, we done. And I wish I had talked to him, because I could have given him game to tell him, bro, that's a bad path to go down. Like,
Right.
make, work your job, make what you need to make. And if you want to make more, put in more time. But please, for the love of God, don't steal. So I cut him. So I cut him off, and his karma was quick. It was about 3 days. I'll just say he was replaced. He was let go, and
Swiftly.
I just wish that I could have.
Expeditiously.
I just wish I could have honestly had a conversation with him, because I felt like at that time, my voice had pull. My voice had some form of, like, people would listen to me. And instead of giving, somebody game, I just backed away. And he was let go. And I kind of, I don't regret it, but I wish I had stepped up. It was one of those, speak up when you see people going down the wrong direction type of thing. So I do that now, and it's because of situations like that. But I do wish, young brother with a lot of potential could have got some good feedback to help him along his journey.
Understandable.
Take you.
I cut somebody off and regretted it. The vagina was good, probably.
That's
I'm gonna be honest.
That's definitely happened.
I'm gonna be honest. Back in the
That's
day,
definitely
I
happened.
cut off a couple females, and the vagina didn't warrant that. Their attitude did, though. And it was pretty much, I'm the type of person, y'all know me. I'm a really calm, reserved person, man. And I let stuff build to a certain point, and then I'll snap. Like, I give you a bunch of leeway. And I was the same when I was younger with women. I could deal with like a little attitude, whatever. You're a woman. But if it gets to a point where I keep giving you pass after pass after pass, there gonna come a time where I have to put the sword down, man. I don't care how good you are to me, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. Even I've cut off my mama before.
Oh, that's deep.
We're the same. Me and my mama had the same personality, though. We both strong-minded people. We both not gonna back down. We both really stubborn. And I've had to cut her off because we can't stay on the phone for 5 minutes. We couldn't stay on the phone for 5 minutes without arguing. This is back in my younger, more ignorant days where I thought I knew everything. I ain't never had that happen with a nigga, though. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck about you, nigga. I cut you off. I don't care about you. I don't care about your family. I care about your woman, your baby. I don't care about none of that.
And it's on site.
Cause I don't cut people off like that. I don't cut off like if I call you my brother, you're gonna be my brother.
Right.
Unless you like really trespass me in some way, money. You talk about my wife, anything like that. But it's mostly been women. And I remember this girl I cut off because she she didn't understand the relationship we had. So let me tell y'all something, man. If you out here doing the wrong thing, right?
Stop doing it
They're
wrong.
supposed to be. See, exactly. You see what I'm saying? You feel what I'm coming from. You a savage. You feel what I'm coming from. If you out here doing the wrong thing, man, with the opposite sex, there has to be an understanding all the way through. See, there's initially an understanding. Like, it's just this. Then somewhere along the line, somebody catch feelings, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's the dude. Sometimes it's the dude if he
Most of
whipped.
the time, it's the dude.
Yeah. It's a conversation for another day. Yeah. And we were doing our thing, and she got attached. And I was like, you have a man, though. See, I was voluntarily the side nigga. And I say that with pride, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, while he going out, I'm coming in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. And it got to the point where, like, her man, he was, like, kind of catching on. And I told her, look, if your man ever find out, that's on you. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just playing my part. Nah, you know, that's what I'm saying. The understanding is there initially. But then it got to the point where he was, like, catching wind of it. And I just told her, I was like, yeah, it's best, you know, for the sake of him, it's best that I, you know, step aside. And even then, she didn't understand. She was like, no. But I'm like, we thought we had this. I thought we had an understanding. Mm-hmm. Comes to find out we didn't. And I kind of regretted that, like, maybe a couple years later, because her and the dude they ended up not working out.
Oh, my bad, fam.
They ended up not working out. And I don't think it was because of me, maybe. So that's one of the things I regretted in the past. But usually it's a woman that I have a falling out with, because as I've grown older, I'm less tolerant to, like, foolishness when it comes to women. It's no longer cute that you have an attitude all the time. It's no longer cute if we have an understanding. You think it's convenient to break the understanding when you feel like it, or because you're emotional today, or because you're going through stuff. Yeah. I don't need you in my life.
Plus, good pussy isn't as common as these females think it is.
I mean, you got something on your mind? Something on your heart?
I'm just saying.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I'm just saying.
So they frauding?
They lied on. They think they got, you know what I'm saying, got something on smash, nothing. Nigga walk away from that shit.
Yeah.
Fast. So you saying it's like, you know, some women boost themselves up there like they're great.
Man, all the time.
Joe, knock it off. I already see where you're going. Knock it off, Joe. Knock it off. Knock it off, Joe.
What?
Knock it off.
Said, disrespectful.
Yeah, for real, man.
Nah, some people boost themselves up like they're great, and then they're not. They're trash.
That happens.
Like Cassidy. Trash.
It always comes back to Cassidy.
No, it does not.
It seems like in this
never
episode.
Come back to Cassidy.
It seems like in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it's cool. You know what it is, man? Sometimes you just need to, you know, we say this a lot on the Wave Report, but sometimes you just need to know yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to know yourself. You need to know your strengths. You need to know your weaknesses. And, you know, if you trash and, you know, you get clingy or you don't understand your role, you don't play your part, you'll never win in life. And that's why, you know, you'll have a boyfriend and you'll need a side dude, and the side dude will be better than your boyfriend, and then he'll just ditch you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's why, you know what I mean, you'll be a shaky person, and you know, your people closest to you have to step away. Yeah. That's why, you know what I mean, you'll do things and make decisions that are idiotic, and quite frankly, you'll lose more than just a job for it.
You know what's crazy? Dudes are clingy to other dudes.
That's a fact.
Yo.
Bro.
Dudes are clingy, man.
I'm in a fake beef right now with somebody who's...
You in a fake beef?
Yeah, like come on, nigga.
I pull up. Yeah, I was about to say, I pull up.
The fuck? Come on, man.
You know the funny thing is, man, people get so much further just being themselves, yo. Like,
yeah,
I'm not even plugging my last therapy joint, but I really said something I meant. I was like, compromise or being yourself pays you more than compromise could ever offer. Like it truly like does.
That's
Like,
dope.
I really appreciate the person who's just real with themselves. Like it's a value.
Yeah.
Yes,
Rewarding.
everybody's gonna have a regret. Everybody's gonna make a decision at some point. You're gonna wish you didn't make or something like that. But the person that's just genuine with themselves can forgive themselves
That's
and
real.
be able to move on.
That's real.
And the person that's fake, that's trash, that's just Cassidy. That's like the new adjective for the
nigga,
person
man.
that the person
This nigga, man.
the person that's Cassidying themselves, just they believe their own hype. Don't be the person that believes your own hype, because that person never succeeds in life. They just get to the biggest. They'll get to the pinnacle and then just be trash. Don't be a Giants fan.
Hey, man.
Don't do that.
Like Joe, don't be a Giants fan. This fake beef, did it come from you cutting him off?
No, it came from somebody else cutting him off. I'm seeing him being clinky to somebody else. You know what I mean? That's all he do is think about, dude.
So you saying is it jealousy?
It's got to stem from jealousy. That's the only thing that makes sense in my mind. It gotta be you gotta be jealous.
So somebody felt like they lost, like so like you were on the playground and you took his best friend. Is that what you're saying? Because I just want to educate how childish it is. I just want to pit. Like, let's be real. Yeah. That's childish. So if we paint the accurate picture, basically he was on the sandbox. They were digging and they were making a sandcastle, and you were like, "Yo, let's play frisbee." And you went to go play frisbee, and he started crying in the sandbox. That's basically what happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
Childish.
Dang.
Pretty much.
How's it fake beef? Oh, you saying he don't really want no smoke?
It's come on now.
Hey! I pull up.
That ain't, come on, it ain't even possible now. Come on. But
Yeah,
I mean, anything's possible. I saw like 2 shooting stars in one night. So
Now that's something unique.
you know, but
Sure, I want the same shooting star from each eye.
strong possibility.
Were you high that night, Joe?
Strong possibility. But it could have been like I had the glasses like this, so I saw it 4 times.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
But anyway, I call it a fake beef because I never had a problem. You know what I mean?
And you know real beef.
And this don't look like it.
Nah.
So it's fake beef to me.
Fake beef.
Clout chasing. It's 2019.
And it's at an all-time high, too.
Facts.
All time.
Especially if you clinging to another dude. I always wonder where does that come from? Does it come from like a bad childhood where you grow up and you cling to another man that's like around your age?
Daddy issue.
No, it comes from you just being trash, and like you don't like if you don't know yourself, you have to discover yourself in other people.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. We cutting this clip. That's deep.
I'm serious. If you don't know who you are, then you're gonna see your value through other people, church people. You know what? You know what? I got something to say. I got something to say. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about the person who's clingy? Can we talk about where that there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah, we definitely can.
There's a lot of, you know what? For all you church folks who go to church and you believe in your pastor more than you believe in your God, tell me I'm lying.
If that ain't the truest thing said.
There's a lot of you people who, if your favorite rapper said,
Oh my goodness gracious.
you'll believe it over
Oh my God.
over wise counsel being said to you
Oh
locally.
my God, man.
Oh, there's a lot of you. There's a lot of you who, if you ever have your mama tell you to do something, and then somebody else who's not your mother tell you to do it, and then you want to now do it.
Oh, you want me to piggyback off? You want me to piggyback off that, y'all? You want me to do something?
You know what? I want you to piggyback.
Okay.
Yeah, I want you to piggyback.
Oh, have you guys ever told your wife something, and she ended up listening to somebody else who told her the exact same thing?
Of course. I think at this point in life, I'm young, man. I'm young. I'm 32 years old, young.
Uh-huh.
But I've learned.
Oldest one here though.
Forever young. I realize that every guy knows the answer to this question, and of course, women do that. All of them. I'm sorry, ladies. Some of you, some queens out there, some hoes out there, some bitches out there. But I'm gonna tell you right now. Look, man. All of y'all do this one thing. Y'all would listen to somebody else before you listen to your dude.
Hey.
Or you listen to your dude when it's too late.
Please preach, man. Please preach, man.
Or you just...
I'm closing my eyes so I can visualize what you're saying, man.
Please,
please preach, man.
I'm married to a black woman, so that puts context in what I'm about to say. So married to a black woman.
Oh, shit.
Man.
My lady will sometimes try on a new hairstyle because, black women try hairstyles that are different.
Tread lightly, Joe.
A lot. So my wife will sometimes do a nice little hairstyle, and I will tell her to her face, honey, you are beautiful. I love it. I love how it looks. The color is amazing.
Right.
I'm still a little unsure about it. Now, maybe they'll take a picture, send it to friends, send it to close family members, or maybe have somebody who will put it on social media. And then once others say, oh, this is amazing, girl, you better work. Or whatever the female Real Housewives of Atlanta adjectives that are generally thrown in, insert here. Then, and only then, does the feeling become comfortable about what they wear.
Okay.
What I said, though it was not a battery in the back, it was truthful. Because I'll tell you when it's trash. I'll tell you when it's Cassidy. But when it's truthful, and I'm just trying to be, I'm just being honest with you. I feel like maybe my voice isn't as valued until it's accompanied by other voices.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
And it's like that in a couple of different areas for a lot of men. And it's not a demasculating type of thing. It's just, don't ask me something. And then you know what I mean? Like, I had an idea about a T-shirt. And I ended up executing that idea for that T-shirt. And then I was told, I gave you that idea months ago. Cool. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form this is a one-sided area. I do it too. I don't know why that is.
But you do it out of pettiness. You do it out of the fact that you notice that she do it and you don't like that shit.
That actually ain't true.
That what you used to do?
Hell yeah. I used to do that.
So you do it out of pettiness.
No, I do it for a different reason now. But I used to do it for that reason. It's plenty of different reasons because you get with different females and they do the same thing, and it be a different situation. So I got different reasons for being petty.
Okay. Well, at least you're honest. At least you're honest. Yeah, at least you're honest.
The common string is I'm petty.
Yeah.
I'm petty outside of my house. I try not to be petty inside my house because
I'm equal opportunity petty.
Yeah.
I don't give no fucks. I could be in church.
Oh, dang.
Pastor.
You went there. You gotta explain now. You gotta explain. You went there. Go ahead. Finish.
Man, we done rebuked the pastor before.
Wait, was I there?
I said what I said. I said rebuke the pastor.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm in your church house. Don't say the wrong thing. Because I ain't finna let it slide. I'm petty like that.
I've walked out of a church service before.
Done that too. I walked out on the prophet. You know, the ones that be telling you gonna get a car in the house and shit. I looked at that nigga and said, I walked out of the whole church.
Dang. Hey, what church was it?
It's in Dade City. It don't exist no more.
Come on, man. Don't be naming churches, bro.
Oh, it's
We can name the church, nigga.
Man, we gotta start calling.
Let's not mislead the people. Let's name the churches.
We gotta start. We gonna have to pluck cancer eventually.
Yeah.
Listen, the greatest way to pluck cancer is to study for yourself.
Yeah.
It's to get
It's
together
to
with
smoke marijuana.
It's to get together with like-minded people like yourself and find the answers to the questions that you have and seek guidance and seek counsel. Don't seek structure.
All right, now.
The greatest thing that you can do is honestly seek counsel. It's okay to seek therapy. I'm not plugging my own stuff right now. I'm being honest with you.
You kind of are, though. Ain't nothing
if
wrong
you
with
seek, therapyshops.com.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
But no, if you honestly seek truth for yourself, you can discover it for yourself. You can make your own opinion and formulate your own opinion for yourself. You do need to walk with people. This walk should never be alone, But you got to find those answers for yourself, or at least look for guides to direct you in the right way. What you do not need is to know God, is to seek truth and seek answers through somebody else's eyes. Look at your life. This is the Prince of Egypt. You remember the Prince? Look at your life. Look at your life through heaven's eyes. You have to be able to, like, you can't look at it through Bishop, Reverend, Apostle, the third. You know, you can't do it through that person. And that's no disrespect to your local pastor.
Hey, I got a quick question. Man,
You have to
I don't
seek
care about
it.
your local pastor. Hey, what's the most
There's some good ones, bro. Hold
what's
on,
the
there's
most
some good
hold on, yeah, but what's the most corrupt church in Tampa?
Wow.
Y'all niggas y'all done probably
Wow.
been in them, no. It's the Wave Report. Hey, subscribe to the channel.
Wow.
We're gonna get so trill on here. The further we get, the more episodes we get in.
When I first got to Tampa, I went to a church.
Can you name the church, please?
When I first got to Tampa, I went to a
Named it
church.
on another episode.
Oh yeah.
When I first got to Tampa, I went to a church, and I'm 100% a raw street person who was kind of understanding church at that time. Had always went, but I went with different intent to, distribute my candy bars. I was selling candy bars at that time, and I was trying to make money off it.
For the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, Boy Scouts.
This
that was
nigga, man.
That was a lot. But anyway, but when I got to Florida, my mom brought me to a church, and it was a great church, and it would have been amazing if I had just stopped there. I purposefully go to churches that I do not know the inner workings of said church. Because the second you start to learn the inner workings of a church, sometimes things can get misconstrued.
Sometimes.
And there was a teen ministry or youth ministry that I went to, and I was introduced to the youth ministry by one person, and they introduced it to me like, yo, awesome ministry, but stay away from this person because they be doing this and this person be doing. I didn't realize my first point of contact was the gossiper. Every church has a gossiper.
You right.
Sometimes.
My very first point of contact at this said church was a gossiper, and his father was the youth minister.
That's deep.
Yes, I'm not clowning. His father was the youth minister. He introduced me to a rap group, and I met some of the most genuine people I've ever known in my life in that said rap group. But I met also some of the most corrupt people in church, in that church. I won't say the name. I got to be fair. But it's very tempting. But
Say names.
Nah, because you know what? I try to do things. I try to take away the borders from things. Like I try to do things without the wall of.
Hey, it's funny you say that, man.
Without the wall of.
It's funny you say that.
Of persecution. I try to move without walls of persecution. You know what I mean? Like I just want to build. Like the goal is to build things up. The goal is to build things up. I don't want to do things. I don't want to do things within the confines of tearing something down. I like to do things without the wall, without walls of building it up. And you know what I mean? Like I'm somebody, I've seen the white cane, and I want to move away from the white cane. I want to move away to the bright light of love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've heard.
Because Paul, in the Bible, Paul was like I like to consider Paul a white cane.
Yeah.
Of truth.
Yeah.
Like Paul.
Yeah, I feel you.
Paul. I see it as like Paul a white cane of truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
So
I know what you
that's
mean.
just how I look at it.
Jonah.
What was the question?
What's the obviously you've been inside, so this is still relevant to the conversation because you had to cut the church off. You have to cut off the part that's eating the body, the part that doesn't work anymore. What's the most corrupt church that you've been to? Now, mind you, viewers out there, it's always the people who are corrupt that infiltrate these places. Not the church building. It's not everybody in the congregation or everybody in leadership. It's just certain people who infect other weak-minded people who can't think for themselves. Say names, man. And we're gonna tell y'all the truth on the Wave Report. That's what separates us from every other podcast. We're gonna keep it real. We're gonna keep it street.
It was this church in West Temple. Everything was going good for years, so it seemed. Turns out the pastor was stealing money. And by the time he got caught, he had already accepted another job. That statement in itself sounds stupid as fuck. He accepted another job at another church.
Yeah, job.
By the time he got caught and kicked out of that one. But bro, there's so many wrongs with what I just said. Bro. So many wrongs, bro. Like a pastor,
Except
he
another
was
job.
about to get kicked.
You put an application.
A pastor was getting kicked out of the church, got another job with another church before he could get kicked.
Yeah.
Like, the politics behind that shit, so it's so fucking dirty, dog. Like, what the fuck is that?
Who is left to pastor that church?
Somebody stepped up. See, and it was a Baptist church, so they had like this. They got like unions and shit. Like
Yeah.
they got a whole system. And then they put somebody in place. Put somebody in place.
Yeah.
In somebody else's community.
Damn.
Come on now. What do we talk about the police all the time? Like the police should be familiar with the community they policing.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Shouldn't a pastor be from the community he's trying to pastor in?
Yeah.
Like, how much sense does that make for him to drive from, another city to come into somebody's, backyard? And
I see that a lot.
do for this community that he don't really love. This is a fucking tax write-off. You don't love this community.
I see
unless
that a
you
lot.
show it. But most of the time, they don't show shit because they don't show their faces. They set up a program and they say, yeah, man, my church did this. They wasn't there. They don't know what it looked like.
You're right.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
at the
Fuck them
same
niggas.
time, didn't every move of the apostle, like, I don't think like you can go through the Bible.
These
Like,
niggas ain't apostles. These posted up churches.
I ain't saying.
These are posted up.
I'm not saying they were apostles. I'm saying if you go through the text, it wasn't central to their hometown.
But these were people of truth. We're not talking about people of truth.
We talking about America as it is right now, the system that is in place as of right now.
We're talking about
If we're
niggas.
gonna go forward with this westernized bitch ass church,
Dang,
can
my
you be
guy.
familiar with the people you're talking to, right?
Dang,
That's how I see it. Like, be
westernized
familiar with the
culture.
people
Go
you talking
ahead,
to,
brother.
man.
Tay, you are not excluded from this answer.
You are not.
Don't go to Without Walls. I know Joe tried to, skirt around it a little bit, and he's very clever. He's a very good MC. That's why he can do that. Don't go to Without Walls.
Big facts.
Everybody that I know who has went to Without Walls, who has been inside the church, they have left on bad terms. Everybody. All because of Paula White. Paula White. Liar. Swindler. But she'll tell y'all she's a prophet. She's a pastor. She's ordained by God. She is a liar. She is a liar. Now, as
Fourth member of the
from if you sit down and you talk to the real Paula White, well, I mean like her outside of all the accolades and the adulation, she might be cool. But when it's time to put on the show, she is one of the best entertainers. And yeah, don't go to Without Walls. So if you're seeing this and you're thinking about going to Without Walls or somebody recommended that you go to Without Walls, tell them niggas you're not going. Tell them the Wave Report told you not to go. And we're credible niggas. So I've heard about Without Walls a lot. My boy Sharon, y'all know Sharon, he said that he was in, yeah, he everything. He said that he went to Without Walls. His experience was Paula White came and they asked for the collection plate. They sent around like 5 times or something like that. And she was standing up and she said, I want you to tithe. What did Sharon tell me? She said, she told the whole congregation. Now, mind you, most churches in the Western culture in America, most church congregations are poor. Most church congregations have poor people in there because this is working class America and most of the people are straddling the poverty line. Facts. Right? Common sense. Not for people in church, apparently. But so you're asking poor people for more money than they have. But you trick them and say that, well, if you give me your money, God is going to bless you. But you're going to be broke. Most of our grandmothers died broke.
Facts.
They were in church. They believed what the pastor said.
Facts.
Right? So Sharon said he's sitting there and he's seeing it unfold. Joe, he's seeing all the foolishness unfold. He said he almost came to tears like how bad it was. And she said, listen, I want you to tithe like by 10 or something like that. So if you put in 10, I want you to put in 100. And you see like everybody in the church is like giving their money away. People were writing checks, putting their social security check in the collection plate. And he said after that, he never, and I don't know if y'all follow Sharon or y'all see him around. That nigga is so opposed to like the church structure because of that experience. And that's bad because you shouldn't be like that. Because there are some good churches and there are some good pastors doing great work in the community.
You know what though? I will say, man, the church has shaped my Christianity to where it's not in a direct choice where when I'm talking to people, I want them to go to the text and the source first.
Yeah, please.
Like I try to direct people to the source and the text, and my biggest struggle is the continuance of it. Because I really do not like the fact that in a lot of churches, people make whoever the speaker that touches them, like people make them their God.
Yeah.
So what I try to do is I genuinely try to have communication and conversations with people and leave them with credible texts and credible outside sources that they can rely on. Because at the same time, that like there's a difference between growing within your faith and being entertained within your faith.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna keep it a bean. I could listen to Eric Thomas give me a motivational speech, and if Eric Thomas opened up a Bible right now, he would be the equivalent of your T.D. Jakes. Because a lot of your pastors and preachers give you just motivational speeches with scriptures behind it.
Right.
Some of them don't even give scriptures
at all. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all niggas eat that shit.
I just like I take it very serious. Somebody just asked me on the interview the other day, you know, how tough is it to be a Christian and be a battle rapper? I'm like, it's not tough. It's not difficult at all. If it's only a topic of conversation because Christians make it that. People make it a conversation. If you see a Muslim, hey, Muslim, all right, let's keep it moving. I want to normalize Christianity the exact same way, to where it's not a show. Just because I believe in what I believe, it's not a show. How I live and how I walk is what I'm supposed to be. That's the mission. That was the goal. It's not for me to hoot and holler. And, you know, I'm still encouraged by certain things I see. Yeah. Ty Tribbett did it went, I would say, in the confines of what viral means, but it went viral where he did a small little sermon about a $20 bill and how it never loses its value no matter how many times you stomp on it, step on it, boom, 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 boom.
Clip.
I like things like that, but I don't necessarily.
I just saw an argument within that, but
okay.
I would have been mad as fuck.
No, he asked the girl if she wanted the $20 bill. And then he kept stomping on it, stepping on it, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, okay.
And then after he did all of that, he jumped on it, did the whole 9, balled it up, and then he asked her if you still wanted the $20 bill. And she said yes, and he said because it never lost its value. Just like you don't lose your value to God. See, that's a good message. I cannot sit here and say every pastor is that. A lot of pastors will give you the motivational pep talk with scripture behind it, but there has to be substance within your faith. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
There just has to be substance, and a lot of times the church structure has messed it up for a lot of people where they don't even look for the substance. They just see what they've heard, or they see what they've seen, or they're expecting what they've seen over and over and over.
Or they'll agree with what already confirms what they believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Things that become culture.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, man, the universe was started by the black man in Africa.
It's a lot of them niggas like growing in droves, nigga.
And this is why, because the churches is fucked up.
But it also
The churches is fucked up.
the church is so. Here's the church used to, the goal of the church is to be one voice. Because we are not one voice, because I can go to World Star Hip Hop right now and I can show you a video of a dude literally body slamming a woman into a thing of chairs to heal her.
I seen that.
Because there's so many different terrible voices within the faith, it gives opportunity for people to just say, you know what, maybe we did come from apes.
That's
maybe
crazy.
you have to understand how trash you are, how Cassidy you are, to literally have made people get to a point where they will rather believe they came from an ape They came from an ape and then believe that they came from God.
Mm-hmm.
That's not because of the structure of an ape. It's one story. It's not 125 different stories told by 125 different people. Like, you have to get back to the text, follow the text, and just go from there. I'm not trying to preach. You have to live it.
Man, have motherfucking integrity.
Yeah.
Fact.
Integrity.
You know the crazy thing? We don't even really. See, I ain't gonna get too.
Nah, do it.
We have the same. Our DNA is the same 90% and upwards as chimpanzees and mice. We don't. People think we like come from apes. Is that there's reason to believe that we come from a common ancestor. So we haven't evolved from apes. It's just a common ancestor that we both came from. But people do believe that, though. What you're saying, people do believe that, and they don't ever question it. Similar to if a pastor, like you said, is entertaining somebody. Pastor tell the congregation anything. It's up for you to filter out what's the truth or not. But people just choose to believe it because their mind is conditioned that way for a long time.
It would just be better if I got to say what Jonah said is the most on the nail thing I've heard.
What?
It would be better if you just had integrity.
So much.
It would be so much better if you weren't smashing your praise team dancers as a pastor of your church. It would be so much better if you weren't.
Daniel.
It would be so much better if you weren't cheating on your family. It would be so much better if you literally became the example of Jesus you were supposed to be, and you don't submit to your dick every time it comes up. It would literally be better if you literally walked out the gospel. It would be better if you sacrificed. No, it would be better if you sacrificed for love.
It's on you.
Not love of your lady, love of the God, love of your father, love of your God. It would be better if you actually walked out the commitment you made.
Preach.
It would be better if you just stopped thinking of heaven as, it's a timeshare.
Preach.
It would be better if you actually looked at your faith as something that means something. The gospel means something to me.
Right.
I don't need to dress it up in 175 different words. It means something to me. Simple and plain. I read it every day. The gospel means something to me. So I'm tired of pretending like it's more than that. No, the gospel has not evolved. It is not, what's wrong is wrong, but I have to understand that I was born wrong. I can't judge other people. I literally get sick when I go somewhere. If you live in Tampa, you go to Ybor City, and I promise you'll see it anytime you go. You go to Ybor City, you got the dudes holding up the signs, repent or you'll die.
Yeah.
I can't stand that because it's outward judgment.
Yeah,
It's outward judgment instead of loving your neighbor.
Yeah.
There's no love within it. I've
love.
seen somebody literally say, I will kill a faggot. And I hate to use the word.
God.
I will kill a faggot because they don't love God. And they are an abomination by God. You know what's an abomination by God? Sin. Sin is sin. So instead of judging the person that does not look like you, love the person that does not look like you, or love like you, or act like you, or feel like you. See, if you believe in the text and you believe in the faith, you would understand that God loves all.
Yes.
So if you embody the God that
Yes, he
you
does.
say that you love, you would love them.
Preach, Joe.
But you're too flawed within yourself. You're too insecure within yourself. You're too scared to give up the carnal things of yourself.
Amen.
Every dude in here likes to have sex.
Y'all more than me, but continue on.
Big facts.
But what's wrong with being faithful?
Ain't nothing, man.
Every man in here wants to, every pastor, man, woman, or whatever, wants to make money. But why would you cheat your people out of money? How does your lifestyle being better benefit the person whose lifestyle is trash?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to preach to y'all. I'm just saying, if it means something to you, you would be as passionate about it as I am right now.
I can feel it.
I have to fight people daily about the church to the point where I almost have to disassociate myself with the church. And you know what would happen if I publicly did that? The church would try to come at me. You know why? Because they want to defend it. I only care about defending the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Not you. Screw you, because it was you who created this mess. So either you about fixing it, or you can shut up and get out of my way.
Dang, man. Well, I like this, Joe.
Powerful.
That's powerful. Hey, we're gonna end the episode on that then. You know what I mean? He closed it out. You got any final words, YJ?
Shit.
Hey, last message.
That was passionate.
Last message. That was very passionate. That's the most passionate I've seen, Joe, on any Wave Report episode, actually. Yeah, man. Listen, final words, man. You out there watching this, you're the church. You make the change. You fellowship with people who inspire you and edify you. You guys stay faithful to the faith. You guys associate with yourselves with people who will always uplift you and speak positively towards your life, even those who are different from you. Whether they're gay, whether they're Muslim, whether they're Jewish, black, white, it don't matter. You know, we all do things on one accord. We'll all get through life in more harmony than we have been. A change can be made, but it starts with you. Not with anybody else. It starts with the person in the mirror. Follow us. Follow us on IG, Wave Report 813. Follow us on Facebook. Share the videos, The Wave Report. Drop an episode every Monday. Some quick waves in between. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Like, comment. You talk, we talk back. We got my man Joe Waters here, passionate. Stop talking about Cassidy, nigga. We got YJ here for a limited time only. This nigga going on tour again. He'll be in a city near you. Shout out to him. Hopefully. Shout out to Second Chance, too. Shout out to Steve for this hoodie, man. Who made this, Joe?
It was made by Real and Raw Shops.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, Real and Raw Printing.
It's the Wave Report. We thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to bring y'all hot content every week. It's Tremonte. Dark Matter. You know what it is. We'll holler at y'all soon.
Don't be a Cassidy.
Eat the dick, Eric Campbell.
Just another day in therapy, right? Yeah. Yeah. I finally figured it out. Took a while, but I finally got it. There's value in being yourself. Let me drop you some knowledge. Some people play a role, and though I can never knock it, being you pays more than compromise will ever profit. I'm real and raw, but still in flawed. Pain is part of my makeup, can't conceal them scars. And who I am today is cause of who I was then, and I can never change that. There ain't a box to jump in, I ain't got a cap. I really came from the struggle, but when you put your all in, you can't remain in the struggle. Food for thought, that therapy is feeding your soul. Felt so many times, but it's worth it when achieving your goals. It's a difference between the dreamer and the one who will go and get it. The one who ain't consistent and the one who is so committed. The person who wants it and the one who needs it. And the person who hears the vision and the one who believes it. The one who puts in pain and the one who's scared to hurt. And the one who's on their grind and the ones who barely work. And the ones who's never scared and the ones who stay timid. And the ones who push through and the ones who see their limits. Who are you? You don't even know yourself, catfishing in the mirror, scared to expose yourself. You're trying to grow a following without growing yourself. Can't believe in who you are without hoping yourself. You can't fake it till you make it, nah, it's deeper than that. Being real creates growth, I'm just speaking the facts. You can kill fear without squeezing the gap. Your goals are arm length away, start reaching for that. The first step ain't easy, but you gotta do it. Mountains gonna come, but I know somebody who can move me. Write these words down in stone, make sure they legible. 3 steps, plan, develop, execute. Waters.